So right now we are going to work on a mini project that brings everything we've learned together into one simple project. So this is what we are going to be working on. The question says create a Python program that lets the user add, remove, and display items in a to-do list. Now it is important to note that I had created this mini project.py file inside chapter 6. So all we're simply doing here is we're creating a to-do list, and the user is capable of adding, removing, and displaying all the items in their to-do list. Now, obviously, in to begin, in order to store all the items in the to-do list, we need a list in order to store all those items. So the first thing we're going to do is create this list, and I'll call it my to-do list items, and I will equate this to an empty list at the start because when we're running the program, the list is going to be empty. Now, the first thing is that, or the next thing we need to do is that we need to ensure the program flow always asks the user to impute to select an operation. Now, our to-do list is going to have four operations. The first operation will be to display all the items in the to-do list. The second operation is going to be adding an item. The third operation is going to be deleting an item, and the fourth operation is going to be exiting or ending the program. So what I will do is I will write a print statement, which is just going to display all of these operations to the user. So I'm going to say print one. So the first operation is going to be display all users. Sorry, display all items, right? And then we're going to put a backslash n because what we want to do is we want to display each operation on a new line. So once I put the backslash n, the second operation is going to be add new item, and then I'll put a backslash n here. The third operation is going to be delete an item, and then the last operation is going to be exit. So once I just save this and run this program so far, let's just see what we have. You see that this is what we have. It just tells us display all items, add new item, delete an item, and exit. So right now we know that these are the operations that we can perform, right? So what do we now need to do next? The first operation says that we need to display all items. So what I will do is I will just write a simple program or a simple input statement that will ask the user what operation they want to perform, because we need to know what operation they want to perform before we can actually tell the program to proceed. I'm going to create a new variable and I'll call it operation, and I will equate this to an int, and inside this int I'm going to put an input, because what we want to do is we want to collect the operation as a number from the user. I'm going to say select operation, and I'll put a colon and space there. So what we're just simply doing is we're going to display all the operations that the user can perform, and then we're going to ask the user to select an operation. Now what we're going to do is we're going to write if conditions. Now these if conditions are basically going to help us determine what the program is going to perform based on the user action. So the first if condition that we are going to write is going to help us check if the user wants to display all items. I'm going to say if operation is equals to 1. That is, if the user imputed 1. So this double equality just checks if the two values are equal to each other, if you remember when we talked about operators. So if it is equals to 1, what do we want to do? We simply just want to print out all the items in this list. I'm just going to write a for loop actually, because I'll need to loop through this entire to-do list in order to print out all the operations, all the to-do list, all the items in the to-do list. I'm going to say for to-do for item in my to-do list items, I will just simply print out item. So I'm just going to put a print statement here so that the user properly understands what you're saying. I'm just going to print below are your to-do list items. So I'm just going to write it like that. And then once I save that, let's just test the program so far. So once I run it, you can see that it displays all the options and asks us to enter an operation. Once I enter one, you see that it says below are your to-do list items and the list is empty. Now that is totally okay because what we have done is that we have created an empty list. So at the point of trying to print out all the items in the list, it was empty. So it's printed nothing because there's nothing in the list. Now we're going to move on, and then we're going to move on to the next operation, which is allowing a user add a new item to the list. So what I will do is I will then write an else if here. And I'm going to say if, which stands for else if operation is equals to 2. That is, if the user wants to add a new item to the to-do list, what do we want to do? We now want to ask the user to input what item it is that they want to add. Because it's obviously a to-do list and they need to input whatever it is. So what I will do is I will just create a new variable and I'll call it to-do item. And this is going to be equals to an input method, which is going to help us collect the item. And then I'll just simply tell the user to enter to-do item. I'll just say enter to do item. Now at this point, once the user enters it, we already have it stored in this variable. So what we now actually need to do is we need to save it to this list. Now, if you remember when we were talking about list methods, we talked about a special method called .append. Now, .append just basically helps us add a new item to the end of a list, right? So we're going to be making use of that method. I'm just going to come down and say my to-do list items .append, and in here I'm going to pass in to do item. So once I do that, we can be rest assured that whatever gets entered is going to be displayed. Whatever gets entered here is going to be appended to the list. Now let's test that. Now you are going to notice an issue, but let's just test the code to see. So it says select an item. I can select one, and then you see it prints nothing because at that point there's nothing in the list. Now you also notice that the program ended immediately. Now if I run it again and I enter 2 to add a new item, it asks me to enter a new to do item. I can say upload video courses. And once I do that, you can see the program ends. Now the program ends because immediately that value is appended to the list. There is no other operation there's no other code right here that the program executes, so it automatically ends. But what we want to do is we want to constantly ask the user to enter or select an operation which they wish to perform. But we don't just want the user to enter a new to-do item and then the program ends. The moment the program ends, this list is going to be whatever data was stored in this list is going to be freed from memory because when we create variables like this, they actually get stored on the memory. So when the program ends, whatever was stored in that list gets deleted and we have to start again. So what do we need to do? We need to write a while loop, which is going to constantly run all of the code inside it unless the user selects that they want to exit the program. So what I will do is I'm going to just write a while loop here, and I'll say while true. Now, while true means that we want to run this loop forever until some operation within the loop breaks it. So what I will now do here is I will save it, and I want you to see what happens. So let me just clear my screen first and then run this. So now it's going to ask us to select an operation, and I'm just going to say display all items. So it says below are your to-do items, and you can notice that nothing gets printed out because it's empty. Now notice that it is then asking us to select an operation again. So the reason why that is happening is because when we entered an operation, right, we checked if the operation was equals to 1. The operation was equals to 1, then we printed out all of the values in the list. Then we came down, this else if block wasn't executed because this condition wasn't checked. Then it came down and saw that no other code existed. So it came back to the loop and executed the loop again. And then going down into the loop body, it asks for the operation. So it's just going to continually perform the same operation until a certain condition is met, which breaks the loop. So what I will do next is I will just add a new item. Now it says enter to do item. I will just say upload video course. And once I press enter, it says select operation. Now, since that's what I had just entered has been saved to the list right here because you told it to append it, what I can then do is press 1 to display all items. And when I press 1, you can see it says below are your to-do list items, and then it's print out upload course video. So that shows us that our program is actually running successfully and we're able to add the feature to display and add a new to-do list item. Now, I would just like to proceed. But before I proceed, I would like to end the program. And in order to terminate a running program, all you just have to press is Control C, which is the show, which helps to interrupt whatever operation is happening. It's called keyboard interrupt, so it automatically breaks the program that's running. All right. So moving on to the next step, we want to delete an item from the list. Now, deleting an item is going to be like a bit of a tricky part that we're going to write, because if you remember from our list methods, when we wanted to remove a specific item from a list, we made use of the dot pop operation. If I can check lists, okay, list methods, let me just check for you right here. So when we wanted to delete a specific item, you remember that we had to use the dot pop method, which takes in the index of the item that we are trying to delete from the. So what I can then do is I can use this specific method to delete an item. But the issue is we need to figure out the index of that specific item, because I could say I want to delete, the third item, but if I don't know the index, there is no way for me to remove it from the list. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this for loop a bit, and I am going to show you exactly how we can, tweak it to make it work exactly how we want. Now, in order to properly display the index, Python gives us a very special method which is called enumerate. So what enumerate does is that it returns to us the item in a list or in an iterable sequence, and its index also. Now I'll show you exactly what I mean. So in order to proceed, we are going to change this for loop a bit. So what I will write is for index comma item in, instead of passing in the list, I'm just going to say enumerate of the list. Now, what exactly does this enumerate do? Or what does it, yeah, what function does it perform? It takes in an iterable sequence, so like a list, for example, right? So it takes in a list, and then what it does is that it returns the index of every item, the index and the item itself. So unlike the traditional for loop that we just used to, loop through a list, what this enumerate does is that it goes through the list and it also returns, as it returns a specific item, it also returns the index of that item. So what we can do now is that we can use an f string to format it. So what I will pass in here is index, and I'll put dots, and then I'll put in the item. So when we are going to be printing out all the to-do items that exist, we are going to see the index as well as the item itself. So once I run it, I'm going to go over this again, but let me just run it. So what I'll do is I'll first of all add a new item. I'll say upload course videos, and let's just add a new item also. I would say do the dishes. Now, once I select one to display everything, you can see that we have the index being printed out. The index of that item dot upload course video. That is because I had added two items, upload course video, and once I added that item to the list, it had an index of one, or an index of zero because it was the first item in the list. Now, the moment I added do the dishes, this became the second item in the list with an index of one. So that is why we see the index of do the dishes to be one. So what the enumerate method basically just does is that as you are looping through the list, it not only grabs that specific item or that current iteration, it also grabs the index of that. It also grabs the index of that specific item. So it returns the index of the item and the item itself. So that is how we're able to grab the index. Now that we're able to display both index and item, what we need to do is write the feature to delete an item. Now you remember from the delete method, we're going to be making use of the pop method to delete an item using its specific index. So I'm going to write an else if block. I'll say else if operation is equals to 3. That is if the user selected 3. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the user to enter the ID of the item that they would like to delete. So I'll just create a new variable and I'll call it item ID is equals to int because we want to collect it as an integer. And then I'm going to say input and I'll say enter item ID to be enter ID of item to be deleted. Let me just say enter ID of item to be deleted. So this is just going to help us collect the ID of whatever the user wants to do. Now, once I collect it, what we're just simply going to do is we're going to we'll remove that value from list. So I will just do my list, my to-do list items dot pop. Now in here, I'm just going to simply pass in the item ID. So once I save that and run this program, yeah, let me clear my screen. Once I save that and run this program, it's going to ask us to, I'm just going to add a new item. I'll say do the dishes, and then I'm going to add a new item and say upload course video. Now I'm going to display all the items. And once I do that, you can see that we have all the items being displayed with their IDs. Now let's say I want to delete an item. I am going to select 3 to delete an item. So I'll enter 3, and then it asks us to enter the ID of the item to be deleted. So let's say I want to delete do the dishes. I'm just going to enter 0. And once I enter 0, it tells us to select operation. So I'm just going to select 1 to display all the items. And as you can see, do the dishes has been deleted. And then upload course video is now the only item in the list. And you can see that upload course videos index changed from 1 to 0, because the moment the first item, which was do the dishes, was removed, it means that the index position of 0 had to be filled. So it means that the only item in the list became upload course video. And then it had an ID. The ID changed from the index, changed from 0 to 1. So that is exactly how we can make use of the .pop in order to remove an item from the list. Now the last operation to be performed is the exit. So I will just write an else if block here also, and I'll say if else if operation is equals to 4. Then what do we want to do? We just want to break out of the loop. So what break is going to do is it will just terminate this while loop, and the program is going to end. So once I run this program right now, sorry, let's run the program again. It's going to ask for an operation. Once I type in 4, you can see that the while loop just breaks and the program ends. So this is basically how to combine all the concepts that we've talked about so far in order to create, like a full project. So right now you've created a to-do list. You can add as many items as you want and delete as many items as you want. Now I know that the printout wasn't really pretty per se, because I could enter 1 and then the text is kind of jam packed together. What you could do is you could just even add like a print statement. For example, you could add a \n here to create a new line, and so forth. So let's just run that again. Sorry, let's just run that again. And if I enter 1, for example, you can see it says below are your to-do list items. It gave a space. So you could add, like line breaks to make everything look, spaced and neat. So we've basically combined all the concepts that we've talked about to make this one simple project. If you have any question, please definitely reach out to me. So thank you, and I will see you in the next one.